Are you on mute?
I'm not even, I just signed on. I'm not even in.
Okay. So I forgot to tell you that Tony said one of his teachers, the kid got on and was like, she didn't have, like the kids weren't named their name. They were putting in random names. So she didn't know who it was. But this kid got on and was like, some call a big like, and like saying all this stuff. And she was like, who was that? So they have no idea who did it. And
Oh my word.
so I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's really like ballsy of a middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even really had anything that, I mean, he was like singing a song.
I was wearing my mask to keep me warm this morning. It's cold in this building. You should be happy you're not here right now. It's literally 53 degrees in here right now. I don't know what's going on with my heater. I hope they get it fixed though. I can barely feel my fingers right now. I'm not a cold weather person at all. I'm a pansy when it comes to cold.
Oh my God, I love the cold.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
not me. I
Well, it's also
would rather
because
be. What's up?
it's also because like half of my mom's family was like born and raised in northern Michigan,
Yeah. Oh,
so that gets fun.
I would rather be like dripping sweat, like horribly hot than being cold.
That's the thing. Like I'd rather be cold so I can at least bundle up if I want to.
Yeah,
That's
not
my
me.
thing.
Not me. I mean, I don't mind bundling up a little bit, but ugh, I don't know.
I've never worn a scarf.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Kind of crazy.
it is. Whew. All right, we're going to wait about one more minute here and then we're going to get started.
Nick, please tell me you're not wearing anything outlandish today.
I'm not right now.
No, Lo. Not right now. It scares me.
Nick, you look like you're in a sauna. Like the wood paneling, you know, like one of those steam rooms. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, no, Nick, do you know what I'm talking about?
Say again.
I said it looks like you're in one of those steam rooms, like a sauna. You know, like where they have the wood all around. Like it's like a wood box where they have like steam billowing. That's what you look like you're in right now.
Yeah. I
I'm trying to
live in
think.
an old house, so
Yeah. I'm trying
Nick,
to
you
think
would live
more
in a sauna
thoughts.
if you could.
I have a sauna, but my mom doesn't like me using it alone.
I would love to be in a sauna right now. Not necessarily teaching from a sauna, but it is cold here. Whew. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started here. All right, so we're gonna start new material today. So I'm gonna start by kind of warming us up a little bit. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Maybe. There we go. All right, so we're literally going to take about 5 minutes here to quickly review plotting points just so it's in our heads and it's fresh. All right, so when we plot points, remember on our XY axis, the horizontal line is the X, the vertical line is the Y. Okay, just a reminder of quadrants. So the top right one, that's quadrant 1, and then it goes counterclockwise here. So quadrant 2 is on the upper left, quadrant 3 is lower left, and quadrant 4 is the bottom right. I also put in here the signs, right? So your X, in quadrant 1, your X and your Y are both positive. In quadrant 2, this is where your X's are negative, but your Y's are positive. Quadrant 3, both terms are negative. And then quadrant 4, your X's are positive, but your Y's are negative. Okay, so I just want to remind you of the 4 quadrants because sometimes that's helpful with what we're going to be doing. Okay, and it's easily, that's something that people forget a lot. All right, so if I want to plot the point, A is 2, -4. There's 2 reasons I did this. So first of all, let's plot our point. So that means we need to go 2 on my x-axis, right, and 4 on my y-axis. I'm sorry, -4. 2, 3, 4, and we're going to plot a point. And just as a reminder, when it has an A in front of it, that means you should name that point A, or whatever letter it has in front of it. Does that make sense? All right, then here's another example. If B is -1, 6, so that's -1 on my x-axis, 6 on my y-axis. So -1 and then up 6. So this right here would be point B. All right, last one. C is at -5, -3. So that's -5 on my x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 3. So this would be point C. All right, questions on that? All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to log into Delta Math. I think I have like 3 or 4 problems for plotting points. So literally, I want you to do that right now, and then we're going to do more. So go to deltamath.com. It's called plotting points. There's 5 problems. I'm sorry, there's 5 points. So literally, you're clicking on where that point is going to be. All right, looks like everybody who's doing it is done. All right, good. And it looks like it went just fine. Perfect. I wasn't really expecting anything less, so good job. All right. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, I got to find my screen again. Share my screen again. So what we're going to start talking about are transformations. So to transform means to change, right? So like a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. So it just means to change. We look at 4 types of transformations, okay? And we're going to talk about those here in a second. So transformation is just the process of change. We have 2 terms that you need to be familiar with here. So the first is pre-image and this other one is image. Okay, so when we're talking about transformations, the pre-image is what you start with. Pre means before, right? Pre means before. So this is our original image, our original figure. After we transform it, it's called the image. Now, remember how we were just plotting points and we called them A, B, and C? After something's been transformed, if you look down at this figure, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. And I'll zoom back out. All right, so here's a figure that's been transformed. So the pink here is my pre-image. All right, so, oops, let me change. So the pink here is my pre-image, and the blue is my image. Okay, so when A here, when it was moved, it now becomes what's called A prime. Okay, so it's A and it has like a little tick mark, apostrophe, whatever you want to call it. If I were to move that point next, it would be called a double prime. And I could do a triple prime. Okay, so it's just notation to say that this A here in the image is related back to the A from the pre-image. All right, so that's what that means. Let me go back so we can see the paper. Oh, sorry, wrong button. All right, so we have 4 types of transformations here. The first one is a translation. Okay, a translation is like a slide. I think sometimes in middle school they called it a slide. So it's literally where you're just scooting it around. Okay, a reflection is like a flip. Okay, it's like it's flipping it over. In this case, they flipped it over the axis. So B was on top, now it's on the bottom. Okay, so it's just a flip. A rotation is a spin or a turn. And then a dilation, excuse me, is either an enlargement or a reduction. So dilation, you know how like they dilate your eyes, it makes your pupils really big, right? Okay, so a dilation is just changing the size. Okay, so it changes the size. In this case here, it went, the pink is the pre-image, so it was an enlargement, right? It made it larger. Okay, so this is like a stretch or a shrink. Now, the other terms I want to introduce you to today are called rigid transformations. Okay, so rigid, if someone says that they're rigid, it means like they're hard fast in the rules, they don't bend at all, they don't change, like they're never ever changing the way they feel. Okay, so a rigid transformation means that the figure, after it's been transformed, is congruent to the original image. So it just means that the image and the pre-image are the exact same size. They're congruent. Okay, we have 3 rigid transformations: a translation, the reflection, and the rotation. Keep the figure, whatever it was, the pre-image and the image are congruent. Okay, so the pre-image and the image are congruent for those 3. Our non-rigid, meaning not rigid, transformation is a dilation, which I think is pretty obvious, right? Like this blue triangle is not going to be the same size as the pink triangle. That's the whole point of a dilation. Any questions about that? All right. Let me stop my screen sharing. All right, so the next thing I'm going to have you do I have posted in Google Classroom, I have posted a card sort basically. It has 4 quadrants, okay? So it's gonna have a space for translations, a space for reflections, rotations, and dilations. Okay, so I have 9 cards there, and you're going to sort them into categories. So you have to decide, is it a reflection, is it a rotation, and so on. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and do that now, and then we're gonna talk about it. So go ahead and get started on that. Don't turn it in yet either. So just do it, but don't turn it in yet. Some of you haven't started yet, so make sure you're getting started, please.
Where is it at? Where's the assignment at?
Can you say that louder?
Where's the assignment at?
It's in Google Classroom. It's 048.
Do we just submit it when we're done?
No, just keep it up for a minute. We're gonna go over it and then we'll submit it, okay? So just hold on to it for right now.
Well, that would have been good to know.
That's okay. Even if you want to unsubmit it, you can. It's all good.
I did.
Okay.
Miss Owenga,
Yes.
can I go see what's outside my door right now?
Sure.
Because there's a bunch of tapping and I'm very confused.
All right. Just make sure you come back.
My stepmom was making coffee, but like like how artists make like a statue and like they carve in a rock.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. I walked out. I was like, "What are you building?"
Looks like we're almost done. So hang tight a few more minutes, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about what we have here. So I'm going to share my screen with you again. And we'll go through each one. All right, so here's card number one. I'm trying to zoom in on things for you. So card number one, what do you think about card number one?
Translation.
Good, that's a translation. So it just slid from that quadrant 3 up to quadrant 1, right? The A is still on the left, the B is still up top, the C is on the right. So that's just a translation. Okay, so if you don't have 1 as a translation, go ahead and fix that now. All right, number 2. So I see MNO, here is our original triangle. And then our image, M prime, N prime, O prime, is this bigger one. So what kind is this?
Dilation.
Go ahead, Rachel. Oh, sorry. So this one's a dilation, right? Rachel, how did you raise your hand? Will you tell me how you did that? Is that like a button that you guys see?
Yeah, if you click on participants, it comes up at the bottom.
So if you click on, oh, nice. Okay. Nice. We were looking and looking and looking for that the other day, and we could not find that anywhere. All right. All right, good. So number 2 is a dilation. So if you didn't have it under dilations, go ahead and fix that. Okay, so number 3 is a line. Okay, so a lot of times they dilate or move or transform triangles or quadrilaterals because it's easier to see, but you can actually transform a line as well. So what do we think happened here? Anybody? Anybody can jump on.
Rotation. I don't know.
This is a rotation. Good. Because if it was going to be a reflection, it would almost have to, it'd have to line up almost with itself, and it doesn't, right? So P, what happened was P swung around to become P prime. Good, so number 3 is a rotation. All right, let's look at number 4. Here's number 4.
Reflection.
Good, so this is a reflection because A prime is down at the bottom, I'm sorry, A is up at the top, then A prime is down at the bottom. Same thing with B is at the top, and then B prime is at the bottom. And then C was at the bottom, and now C prime's at the top. So this is a reflection actually over the x-axis. And we'll talk about that when we do reflections. So number 4 is a reflection. How about number 5?
Dilation.
Nope, it did not change size because it still went up 2 over 2, right? So it's still, this one is a reflection. So E goes over to E prime. It's 1 step away from that axis, and then D is D prime. Okay, so it's they're both 3 steps away from that axis there. So it's like a flip. It took DE and it flipped it over. So 5 is a reflection. How about number 6?
Dilation.
6 is a dilation, right? It started out big and it became small, so it was a reduction in size, so it is a dilation. All right, let's do number 7. Whoops. Number 7. So this time they did an angle, right? They did an angle here.
Rotation.
This one is a rotation. Good. 7 is a rotation. How about 8?
Transition.
That's a translation. It's just a slide, right? They slid it from that quadrant 2 down to quadrant 4. All right, last one. I think this one's kind of hard to see. It's really like an angle, MNP. So you have to watch for the labels on it, right? The points. Okay, so M became M prime over here. N stayed N prime, and then P went over to be P prime. So what's this one?
Reflection.
Reflection, good, because it reflected over this line right here that goes through N. Good. So make sure your tiles are correct, and I want you to go ahead and submit that, please. Once you have it submitted, you are done for the day. You do not have any homework. So you're good to go, unless you have questions. And I will see you tomorrow then. Once you have to submit it first. So have a good day after you submit it.
How do you rate my? Hold on, I'll get out of the way. How do you rate my room decor?
Is that a Christmas tree there in the background?
Yes, it is.
I like it.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
You just
Mr.
need-
Manley, the first day, it's like this was not my room. This is kind of like a living room, but we made it my room.
Yeah.
And I have a brother on the way. And so like my room was upstairs, so we moved everything down here on Saturday.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have anything really organized yet.
Yeah.
And so it was all messy. And Mr. Manley, first period, as I'm like half asleep, he goes, "Dang, Anthony, you need to clean your room." I'm like, okay. So I did.
I just moved.
Rearranged stuff. I put a Christmas tree up. I said, "Do you appreciate it now, Manley?"
And did he? Did he appreciate it then?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Because I cleaned it, and then the Tuesday I went in and it was clean, and then yesterday I went in and it was this.
Well, nice job.
Thank you.
I have not put up my Christmas tree yet. My kids are ready to do it, and I'm just not there yet.
Oh, I've put up everyone's. I put up my mom's house one. I put up this one. Put up my dad's house main one.
Did you?
Put up my grandma's.
I'm just not there. Like, I need, it starts like a cleaning spree for me when I start putting up my Christmas tree, because you got to move your furniture around, and then you start sweeping underneath the furniture, and you have to keep moving things around so you can sweep under the furniture. And then my kids hate it then because I'm cleaning, and they don't like to clean.
Nobody likes it clean.
Right.